follow me a little bit, because the three readings of tonight is telling us what the meaning of covenant love is. Covenant love is the special kind of love that we who believe and follow Christ carry and give to the world. And the model of that is no other than that cross. That is covenantal love. So, let's go. First reading. Isaiah says to the people who at that time were exhausted already because they had been looking for satisfaction in their life, purpose and meaning by running, chasing after so many things. Things like pleasure, things like power and victory over life, things that they believed they could do, and they were even following a lot of gods already, not anymore Yahweh. So that was the context of first reading. And God comes and listen what he says. Come, and I will give you the food that will satisfy you, even if you do not have money to buy this food. There you see already the first meaning of a covenantal love that God is giving to you and to me. It is a love that you can never and you must not earn, because it is not conditioned on what you can do for God. Neither is it conditioned for what you can do for others. They're not conditioned on that. God just simply loves and loves and loves us. I know there are quick minds there among you who would say, really? God is just giving it and giving it and giving it, and I don't have to do anything, correct? And the answer to that is, of course not. In fact, that is a big heresy. It was called quietism. That is, if we can still have satiety in our life, satisfaction, when we do not respond to this unconditional love of God. Oh, by the way, think about this. Even your respond, even if your response is also God's. Because nobody can respond to grace if he had not been graced first. You get that? So even when you say, I want to do something to respond to that love that is unconditional, even your response is also made possible, enabled. You are made capable to respond only because of God. You see, you cannot be responding in any way without God. So that's number one. Number two, the second reading, it says, but God's love is unrelenting, and it will never be separated from you. So, it goes into so many ways. It says, neither angels nor principalities, nor future things or present things, no power, no height, no depth can ever separate you from the love of God. But make these two things. Number one, it did not say that suffering is part of that where God does not separate from us. Note that. In other words, even if God loves us so much, and even if this love of God can never be separated by anything, yet suffering is still always a part of our life. Think about this. Probably suffering is also one way of showing love. Make sense? If it does not make sense, look at that. That is suffering. Jesus did not go there smiling. Did not go there sweet. So there will always be this suffering in the love of God. And so when we suffer, when we are in pain, we can also respond by giving that pain to God and leave it in the hands of God, not in your hands. And then thirdly, covenantal love. Then Jesus looks at the crowd and he finds them, feels their hunger, so that even his guts were really stricken. And then he asked the disciples, go and give them food. Did you notice that? The disciples were working on scarcity. We have only 5 loaves, 2 fish. What can this do to 5,000 men, not counting the women and the children? They were looking at what they do not have much. And Jesus said, bring what you have. Even if it's only 5 loaves and 2 fish, bring them to me. And then he blessed the 5 loaves and 2 fish. Now watch this. What did he do? He broke the loaves. Did you see that? And then he gave it to his disciples. And then in turn, the disciples broke the bread and gave to others. And do you know what happened when the disciples did that? The people also started to get the little food that they brought with them and started breaking whatever they had. Jesus showed the example of breaking and sharing. And suddenly the people started also to give, to break what they have and to give. How did that happen? It happened, the miracle here is not that the bread multiplied. It is that the people themselves became like Christ, who took what they have, broke what they have, and shared. That is the real miracle. Now, in a little while you will come and you will receive the body and blood of Christ. You know what happens when you do that? God will also do the same miracle as He did then, 2,000 years ago. He will turn you, transform you into Christ. And then He sends you out so that now you have become also the bread for others. Break whatever you have, no matter how small. 2 loaves, 2 fish, 5 loaves, 2 fish. But when you break it, you also become Christ for the world. That is why He brought you here this evening, so that He will transform you to become like Him.